Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like and subscribe. Help! It really does help, you know. I'm going to talk today about the disgraceful conditions in a prison called HMP Frankland, which is in the news, unfortunately, for the inmates of HMP Frankland, for the problem it's got with... it's not waterproof, you see, and according to the report that I've seen, which was created by Colette Howe of BBC Radio Newcastle, and she's reporting that the prison has got so much mould, damp, and disgraceful leaking roofs that there are cells where mushrooms are growing out of the walls. Now, the mould actually releases spores, and if these spores get into your lungs, they can seriously affect your health. Of course, the prison service are responsible for the health and well-being of not only the inmates but of the staff. And staff have been taken to prison because they've been injured by falling debris from the roof. One prison officer was removed to hospital for having a lump of mouldy roofing fallen, hit her in the head and into the eye. Yeah, so it's in utter disrepair. The estimate, apparently, from the Ministry of Justice has had the stupidity to say that they're investing £220 million in the maintenance for the next financial year. That's good, because the estimate is somewhere in the region of £3 billion just to repair the system that's fallen apart. Now, why has the system fallen apart when it's been operating as the prison service for over 100 years? Why? Well, back in the time I was in the prison service, they had what's known as a works department, where works officers actually received observations and written complaints from staff, you know, with jobs that had to be done. You know, if there was a window broken in a cell, or a toilet that was not functioning, the recess was the water in the recess wasn't working, you put a note into the works department, and the works department officers came out, and along with them they had a number of inmates who were training with the works department, or had maybe been plumbers or builders in society before they were sentenced. They would work alongside the works department officers, who were prison officers, and they would repair the facilities. Some bright spark in the Home Office, I don't know where they get them from, reminds me of that fellow from the TV series and the book, which is a brilliant book, by the way, Blot on the Landscape, in which they appoint a deranged loony called Dundridge to actually oversee the building of the motorway. Yeah, that's the kind of nonsense they've got. Half-wits in charge of the show. And the problem that they've got is they haven't got the money. They're going to need at least £3 billion to put the system back up to the position where the existing, not new prisons, the existing establishments, the system is falling apart, and the £3 billion will only put it back to the point where it can be used in its capacity. They reckon that approximately 30 to 40% of all prison cellular accommodation is below standard. There's risks, higher risks, failed assessments. It's a danger not only to the inmates but to the staff, as I said. And what are they doing? Nothing. They're doing nothing. And the Prison Officers Association are belly aching about this. No good belly aching about it. What you do is you say to the Home Office, the Ministry of Justice, just say, we represent the staff that are working in these prisons, which we consider to be a threat to the health and safety of our members, and therefore the prison officers will not be working there until you repair them, because it's a danger. But are the Prison Officers Association doing that? Well, no, they're not. They're talking about things, but not doing anything. Makes you wonder why. They're supposed to be a trade union, aren't they? HMP Frankland, located near the village of Brassside in County Durham. Next door is HMP Lowell Newton, which is a closed institution for female offenders. But in HMP Frankland, some years ago, they had a serious incident where 2 inmates tried to emulate Hannibal Lecter. They took a prisoner captive, an inmate called Michael Harris, and these 2 bright sparks disemboweled Michael Harris and ate his liver. That's nice, isn't it, when you think about it? What shall we have for lunch today? I think he looks quite healthy. We'll have his liver. Those 2 inmates were called Nathan Mann and Michael Parr. There's a nickname for HMP Frankland. It shares its nickname with HMP Wakefield. They call it the Monster Mansion, because it's got people like Ian Huntley in there, who murdered the little girls when he was a caretaker at a school. It's had Charles Bronson in there as well. It's got one guy in there who was convicted of necrophilia. I mean, I know that sometimes your partner might not be too lively, but at least they're alive and taking breath. It's when they've expired sometime before, when they're stone cold. I mean, come on. Who do they think they are? Jimmy Savile? So that's my little rant for today on Tales for the Jails. HMP Frankland, it's not on its own, but I mean, the mushrooms growing in the cells and the black damp on the wall is a serious threat to the lives of the occupants. They should condemn it. Should close it down and spend I don't know how many millions it's going to take to do it. But they've been built on the cheap, these things. It was opened in 1983, I believe, HMP Frankland, and it's been added on to over the years, so that the accommodation is now approximately 850. So, Ministry of Justice, it's more like the Ministry of Injustice, isn't it? Here we go. Tales from the Jails. Hope you're liking this, boys. That's a song there. Strikes heart, fear into the hearts of men and boys. I've got a request today, thanks, from Dan. Dan's asked me to sing a song. Really? Yes. So all you brave souls who are going to hang on to hear this, I'm going to sing the special request from a guy called Dan, who frequently comments on this site. This is Danny Boy, believe it or not. He would like me to sing, or terminate it, as the case may be. I'll do my best. One last warning, folks. You can't say I'm not reasonable. That's your lot. Danny Boy. Oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside, the summer's gone and all the roses dying. It's you, must go and I must bide. But Come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And when you come, and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear though soft you tread above me, and all my grave shall warm and sweeter be, for you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. There you go, Danny boy. Well, I did my best, Dan. I did try. Don't forget we're operating with slightly faulty equipment here. Tales from the jails, folks.